Hello and welcome to Peak Flicks. My name is Mr. Lepore, and I'll be working alongside you all throughout the summer on a variety of math skills. Each day we'll be working on a small fluency component, and right after that, we'll take a look at a variety of different topics throughout the fourth grade math curriculum that we think will be beneficial to you to sharpen up on in order to prepare for everything that's to come. In addition, we're going to make sure to remind you that every day you need to make sure that your top right circle in our reflex math program is fully green inside and out. All right, guys, welcome back here. We're going to do our fluency workout for the day here, moving up from our 8s to our 9s timetable. 2 times 9 is 18. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 6 is 54. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 times 10 is 90. 7 times 9 is 63. 9 times 9 is 81. 3 times 9 is 27. 9 times 8 is 72. And 5 times 9 is 45. All right, good job there, boys and girls. As always, make sure you're getting onto your Reflex account when you're done here with me. You could log in through Clever. And always make sure you're trying to go ahead and say that answer out loud on your end right before I go ahead and say it out loud on my end. Let's get it. All right, guys, welcome to day 11. All right, let's take a look at our objective here. We're going to be working with long division today. We'll give you 2 excellent strategies and methods to go ahead and approach it with. So for day 11, students will be able to represent and solve problems with up to a 3-digit dividend numerically. All right, the dividend is the number inside of the house that you are dividing into smaller groups. Students will be able to represent and solve division problems with up to 3-digit dividends numerically by using place value discs requiring decomposing the remainder in the hundreds place. Okay, so the 2 strategies we will be approaching this with is with number discs or the standard way to do long division, okay? Let's focus here on our number discs first. Whenever we're dividing, we start in our largest place possible and then work backwards, okay? All right, we start in our largest place possible and go ahead and work backwards. So we start in the hundreds to the tens to the ones, okay? So in this example, we have 546 divided by 3, okay? So we start off with 5 hundreds, 4 tens, 6 ones, and we start to group them into groups of 3. Whatever's left over gets unbundled. All right, so we should remember from our first and second lesson here, dealing with place value discs, bundling and unbundling, our magic number is always 10. So one of these hundreds would turn into 10 tens, and another 100 would turn into 10 tens, and that would get us 20 tens plus our 4 tens, 24 tens. And now we divide them into groups of 3. And we continue the process until we get to the ones place. And if there is anything left over in the ones place following that same process, that is our remainder, okay? When we're dealing with the standard way, something I always like to write up top or on the side wherever I have room is D, M, S, B. And what that stands for is division, multiplication, which those 2 kind of go hand in hand there, subtraction, and bring it down. All right. So in this process, right, we're going to take our dividend, 546, we're going to put it inside of this house here. Boom. Boom, and we're dividing it by 3. So you want to ask yourself for the first step, how many times does 3 go into 5 without going over it, right? or 3, 6. Well, I can't go to 6 because that's too many, so I got to go back. So 3 goes into 5 only one time. Okay, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we just did the first and second step right there. It goes under the number you divided into. 5 minus 3 is 2. Subtraction is our next step. Bring down the 4, right? My new number that I'm focusing on right here is just the number 24. So after I'm done bringing it down, I go all the way back to division. How many times does 3 go into 24? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So if I count that up, that's 8 times. 3 goes into 24 8 times. Beautiful. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. And lastly, that's the third subtraction step, bring down the 6. How many times does 3 go into 6? 3, 6. Oh, perfect. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. 0, there is nothing remaining at all. My quotient, or my answer for a division problem, quotient means answer to a division problem, is 182. Same answer on both sides here. I can always check my division work with multiplication. So I'll take my quotient and I'll take my divisor. So my two numbers outside the house, I'm going to multiply them together, and that should get me the number inside the house. All right, let's take a look at one on our own. Okay, so in order to start and begin this problem using our number disks, we're going to have to create a little place value chart. Okay, so we have the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. All right, once we have this in here, we could just draw one other line horizontally across, and I'm going to start to mark all of what I need. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. So each time I divide here, I'm going to take one of the numbers in each place and divide it out evenly into different groups of 5. Okay, so let me start right here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to cross out these 5 because I used them. Now I cannot place this 6th one evenly in another group. Okay, I just can't do that. All right. So I have to unbundle it. So this 100 is going to become 10 tens. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now I'm going to divide all these tens into the groups here. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the top 5. They're done. I got another 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That group of 5 is done. All right, so this is, you're really seeing the division here, and you're actually doing it yourself with one of the tools that you know you could be successful with. That's the place value chart. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have another group of 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cross out all 5 of these. Wow, so there's no remainder, nothing to unbundle this way. Great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to split them up into the 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is nothing at all that is remaining. Okay, so if I look here, I have 100. Each group has 3 tens. And each group has 1 1. So my quotient is 131. All right, so that is how to break it down and be successful using place value and number discs and dividing 655 into groups of 5. Okay, so our answer was 131 when we used our number discs to divide 655 divided by 5. We're going to see if that same answer checks out here now as we do long division. So I have everything set up here. I'm dividing 655 by 5. So my dividend, the big number that's getting divided, is inside the house. My divisor, the number I'm dividing by, is outside the house. Okay, and my quotient will wind up right up here. Here are my steps to follow in order. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. When you're done bringing it down, go back to that first step. Okay, when you've done all of these and you wound up in your ones place, what's ever left over is your remainder. If you do not have anything left over, then you do not have a remainder. So let's start this first. Let's divide and multiply. How many times can 5 go into 6 without going over? 5, 10. Can't go to 10, so the answer is just 1, right? 5 goes into 6 one time. 5 times 1 gets me 5. So I divided and I multiplied. Now I need to subtract. 6 minus 5 gets me 1. Bring down the 5. My new number that I'm dividing 5 into is now 15. So we just brought down back to our first step, little division and multiplication here. How many times can 5 go into 15? 5, 10, 15. Oh, perfect. So 5 can go into 15 3 times, and 5 times 3 gets us 15. Second to last step, right? We just divided and multiplied. 5 into 15 3 times. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 15 is 0. Subtraction. Bring down the 5. So my new number I'm looking at is the number 5. How many times can 5 go into 5 without going over? 5. One time. One time, and it fits in perfectly. So 5 can go into 5 one time. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. Is there anything else to bring down? Nope. So I am done here, and it looks like my quotient equals 131. Let's check this real quick at multiplication just to make sure I'm right. 131 times 5. So I take my quotient, which is 131, my answer, and my divisor, which is 5, and I multiply them. When I do this, I should get 655, my dividend. If I do, then it checks out well. Let's do the standard algorithm here. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 5. Regroup the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. And it all checks out. All right, so a little review there using two strategies that we love when it comes to dividing. Please pause the video when I click to the next screen. All right, and give yourself as much time as you need to try one or both of the strategies on the next problem, and then hit the play button, and I'll help you review it. All right, guys, hope you were able to give this one a shot on your own. I'm going to start with the number disc. I really like this because as you're doing it, you yourself are the one representing the division. So let's get out what I have in the hundreds, which is 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get what I have in the tens here, 1, 2. Let's get what I have in the ones here, which is 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I'm going to be putting them into groups of 3 here. So I'm dividing into groups of 3 evenly until I can no longer do so. So 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. I crossed off 3. I have 4 left, so I could do it again. 1, 2, 3. Cross them off, cross them off. Gotta make sure I have my horizontal line there representing the difference in what I'm dividing and what the quotient will be, right? How I'm breaking it down. So I have 100. I cannot evenly divide that amongst 3 groups, so I'm going to unbundle, right? So let's see what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so now I have 12 tens. I got to put them in the groups of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I just got rid of those 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. Another 3 gone. 1, 2, 3. Another 3 gone. And 1, 2, 3. Another 3 gone. I have nothing to unbundle. I have 4 in each group. 4 times 3 is 12, or 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that's how we wind up with that there, right there in the tens place. All right, let's move on to the ones here, right? 1, 2, 3. And I'm getting rid of these right here. I've used them. All right, and 1, 2, 3. Boom. So remember, each of these are its own group if you want to think about it that way. All right, 3 groups. 1, 2 partitions make 3 groups. So if I look here, each group to me has 2 hundreds, 4 tens, and 2 ones, making my quotient 242. All right, so I'm ready to go ahead and try this problem one more time, this time using the standard algorithm. I have my steps to follow. Does McDonald's sell burgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. I keep on saying, does McDonald's sell burgers? That might be an easy way for you to remember it at home without having to write it down. I go through each of these steps. After I bring it down, I go back to division with the new number that I have. If I'm brought down my last number, there's nothing else to bring down. That means you are at the end of your division work. That will happen after you bring the number down in the ones place. All right, let's give this a shot. So let's divide and multiply. How many times could 3 go into 7? I'm going to rely on my 3's times tables. 3, 6, 9. Nope. So it goes in 2 times. 3 goes into 7 2 times, and 3 times 2 is 6. I just divided and multiplied. Now I'm going to subtract 7 minus 6. That gets me 1. Bring down the 2. My new number that I'm dividing into, and going all the way back to the first step, is 12. How many times does 3 go into 12? 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down the 6. Perfect. Just did all 4 steps nice and fluidly, which is awesome. So my last number, right? I brought down the number in the ones. I'm nearing my end. How many times does 3 go into 6? 3, 6. Oh, perfectly. 3 goes into 6 2 times. And as we know from before, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. There is nothing more to bring down, and I have no remainder. So my quotient is, just like it was in the other one, just like it was in the one where we used our place value chart and numbers this, the quotient is 242. Again, I want to check it using multiplication. I'm going to take my quotient of 242. I'm going to take my divisor of 3. I'm going to multiply it. Just like you could use addition to check subtraction, you could use multiplication to check your division. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 2, regroup the 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So this answer checks out. Excellent job by everybody today. All right. Definitely make sure you review this video. Take a close look at it, because division is something that is going to be built upon moving forward in 5th, 6th grade, and so on and so forth. So a very, very important independent skill, not only for your math work, but also in life. You got to be able to budget and divide things. Maybe if you're out to dinner with a larger group, or maybe if you're splitting groceries with somebody inside of your house. Okay, so a lot of important work to be done with division. Keep it up. Don't Also, make sure that you're getting onto your Reflex Math account that you could log in through Clever every single day when we're done with our math work here. You'll know you're done when the top right corner of your screen shows that your circle is fully green. Enjoy.